speed, clap it in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and welcome back, guys, to another episode of the Klickback podcast with our special guest Selina Yang, Tommy,
Hello.
Toby, and myself, Jeremy. And we're going to be talking about a topic that us three are not too familiar with. Wait, how?
Jeremy sounds so formal.
It's horoscopes. How much do we know about horoscopes?
Astrology, yeah.
Astrology.
Yeah.
I only know about mine, to be honest. I never read anyone else's.
Yes, yeah, same here.
So I only know about mine.
Interesting. Particularly care.
You don't care about astrology.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I don't.
But Selina, you seem to be the guru, relatively, compared to us.
Yeah. I wouldn't call myself an expert, only kind of just started getting into astrology. I was introduced to it by my best friend 3 years ago. This is not when I started getting into it. She was just telling me about my ex-boyfriend and like his traits and that, and then our compatibility. And it turns out it was like not compatible at all. And we were having this conversation over dinner and I was like, oh my God, astrology is a load of bull crap. You know, like when you're in a relationship, you're just like, no, we are compatible, blah, blah. Yeah. Anyway, since we broke up, I was like, oh shit, everything she said was right. And
was this the recent part? Or is that still like 3 years ago?
Well, this was maybe, I realized that she was right, I don't know, maybe 2 years ago, but I just didn't put too much thought into it until I was in Bali. Oh no, I was actually at my old job, Ellenberg Fraser, and one of my good friends who was a colleague there, she was very into astrology, so we would talk about it during work, and then I kind of slowly realized, oh shit, like people who I surround myself with and like my closest circle of friends all have the same star signs that would be compatible to my star sign.
Yeah, right.
Yep. So your star sign is?
So my star sign is Leo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So what was your ex at the time? What star sign was he?
Capricorn.
Oh.
Yeah.
And what does being a Leo mean?
So Leos are very prideful. They have like a very big ego. They're very, I'd say, extra. They kind of like to be the center of attention. I don't think I do like being the center of attention. Maybe it depends on what situation. But like, say when I was young, I would be like, oh, I want to be the best dressed at the party and I want to outdress the birthday girl.
Damn.
And then when it came to my own parties, I would make people wear black or white so that I could be the one that would stand out. So like for me,
jeez.
So you'd be in colour. You'd be in colour. Everyone else is in black or white.
Yeah.
Holy.
And then
just Leo things.
I would have been like, thieves. Damn, man.
I know.
Damn.
So like on a daily basis, I feel I don't really like to be the center of attention, or at work, not really. But like when it comes to special occasions, like my birthday, like I do like to be treated. I like it to be really extra. You know, I like it to be different.
Yeah.
There's so many more things I could say about Leo. Like they're very competitive. They like to have the last word, blah, 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 all this stuff. But I thought it would be fun if we guess each one of yours.
Yeah,
Sounds
this
good.
role reversal.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Let's do it.
That's straight up
Okay.
role
You
reversal.
guys are the
Yeah.
guests. Welcome to my podcast.
Yeah. Episode 1.
So who should we start off with? Who's the
Well,
oldest?
we were introduced to you through Tommy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I
sure.
guess,
Sure.
Well,
Sure.
I met you through Tommy.
Yeah.
Right?
We'll-
Actually,
we'll
how
just
did
go-
you meet?
just go
How did
for
you
real.
meet Selina?
I met Instagram.
Oh, okay.
And
okay.
yeah, let's just go around. Oh, why the oldest?
Oh, I don't know. I was just
Just a way of picking, right?
yeah.
That's my opinion. I'm just
Random.
all right, okay. Oh, let's go.
That's a
let's
very
go.
Leo thing to do.
Okay.
No,
all
it's
right.
Actually, do you say that? Like that's so.
Yeah, all the time. Like I'd be like, why is this person like this? Oh yeah, it's because they're a Sagittarius. And like
no shit, right?
yeah, no shit. I'll be like, oh, I wonder what star sign they are. It's crazy how accurate it is sometimes, but you know, I don't really know you guys that well, let's say. So this might be
So
a
you
bit
know
of
how
a
like
challenge.
even though there are 12 star signs.
Yeah.
And do you think you can get at least like the element easily? Like, you know how there's like 4 elements?
Yeah.
Do you reckon you can like narrow? Is that easy to
Wait,
narrow
wait,
down?
wait.
What are
What are
four
the
elements? I
what
didn't
are,
know
what are
because,
these
like,
elements?
what's the four
Because
elements?
there's
Fire.
Earth, wind, fire.
No. Earth,
Yeah.
not wind.
Okay.
Air.
Air.
I was going with
Close.
last
wind and
element.
air.
Close,
Wind and
close,
air.
close.
All right.
Alright, go on. You go on.
So fire,
Yeah.
water, air, and earth.
And so each
Oh.
each of these elements have 3 different
Yeah.
signs aligned to them.
Mm-hmm.
Ah.
Okay. Give me an example.
And so I guess like when you have 2 different signs and like you see their relationships, it's based on like, oh, is fire compatible with water kind of thing, or like what happens when fire meets air.
Oh.
So that plays a lot
okay.
into the I guess the temperament of each sign and like how their relationships turn out.
Okay. Well, so
that's-
what
yeah.
element is your
Fire.
there? Fire. Okay.
Oh, that
Wait.
makes sense.
Quick question. Just to get my understanding. So, like for your ex and stuff. So you was Capricorn. Like, what are you compatible with, and what aren't you compatible with?
It was such a long time.
Wait, don't they all have like different percentages? Or like different levels of compatibility?
Yeah, well, I think you can work at any relationship. You can be with any star sign. You can still
Oh, okay.
always make it work. I think with the star sign compatibility, it's more like, things that you kind of just don't have to work at. You just get along with someone.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That
Okay.
type of compatibility. It's like when you meet someone straight off,
Yeah.
you're drawn to them and then you get along with them really well.
Yeah.
You guys probably are like a star sign that matches.
Oh.
Yeah.
So it's not like, okay, Leos can't be with Sagittarius or like, yeah, but Leos can always be
I
with.
think it's like, oh, it makes it a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, but you can be with any star sign.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
There's
Okay,
still hope,
cool.
Jeremy. There's
It's
still
just-
No, because this is something that's new to me.
Yeah.
Looking at it this way, because I always thought, oh, you just have these personalities. Like, I didn't really think like, from what you said, it plays some role. It gives some explanation to why things aren't compatible and why things might not work out.
That's
and
what
stuff
I'm
like
really
that.
interested in. Is like
Yeah.
the why, like how
Yeah.
people even determine, like how like the traits of each star sign. That's what I'm really interested in.
Yeah. Okay.
That's cool.
All right. So let's get guessing.
Yeah, so how are you gonna determine or guess what star sign we are?
I guess by asking a few questions. I kind of I know Tommy not very well, but I kind of know him a little bit. So I can weed out some obvious star signs that I feel like he
Yeah.
might not be.
I reckon like as you go through these questions, just like say what you're thinking
Yeah.
aloud.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Talk it through.
yeah, just talk it through.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
All right. Tommy,
Ooh.
would you say you're quite an emotional person?
Ooh. I think currently I am more emotional than I used to be.
Mm-hmm.
But my emotions, I don't think I'm not very expressive of them.
Mm-hmm.
So like even when I watch like movies or like a TV drama, right? And like there's like a very emotional scene and like everyone else in the theater is like crying. Like I'm just there like stone face, right? I'm
But
like,
do you feel it?
I feel it,
Yeah.
but nothing is like there.
Nothing's
Yeah.
coming out.
Nothing comes out, right?
Okay.
But also like in the past, I've just been very like indifferent to a lot of different things and I'm not very emotional. So it's only something that maybe I've kind of noticed or developed maybe after year 9 or something.
Okay, but emotional, what about in the sense of like when you're in a relationship?
Yeah, I think quite emotional.
But do you tell your partner like how you're feeling, or do you
Yeah.
kind of keep it in?
No, I'm quite open. We're quite open.
What
So
a
you're
guy.
not the type that like would get mad and then just not really say anything and wait till like it passes, or like keep it in?
I tend not to act on emotions. I might, I usually act like with logic first, but it's the definitely like the emotions like trigger like the need for logic.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Okay, I'm starting to get a bit confused.
Whoa.
All right, let's
Um,
yeah. Oh, okay, all right, yeah.
What are you thinking, Jeremy?
I don't know.
I can tell Jeremy's watching with like curiosity right
Oh,
now.
no, I'm just no. I'm just. I don't
He's
know.
very-
I
he's
was
very
like, oh. I don't know. It's just yeah. I can see for you why you would be a bit confused.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, keep going. Keep going. No. I'm just like, oh, I'm listening. I'm listening. I'm
okay.
listening. Yeah.
Okay. When you like in terms of your job and career, how do you approach that? Like, is a job just a job for you, or are you the type that like would work really, really hard to become CEO one day, or do you kind of just describe?
I work really hard at things that I want to do,
Mm-hmm.
and I work really hard at my job, and I don't think it's just something that is just like in and out, kind of like just like waste your time with like these like valuable hours in your day.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely think that you should like work hard towards like, everything that you're doing and everything that you're committed to,
Mm-hmm.
and so that's that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So career plays a large role in living life.
Living life. Okay. And in terms of friendship, what are the type of friends you like to surround yourself with, and like, what type of friend do you think you are? Are you
Okay.
the leader? Are you?
I guess my closest friends are ones that are just very open and blunt, and we can have really like large and like high level ideas.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just stuff where you just like, we're not talking about other people. We're not talking about things that happen to us. We're talking about like big concepts, and like we're very
Ooh.
self-reflective as well.
Okay.
And that's what I really value in like my relationship with these friends.
yeah.
And
Oh, that's interesting.
I guess for what kind of friend I am, I like to be a very supportive type, and someone who can be seen as like reliable, and someone you can have like a fun time with.
I can agree with that. Good on you,
Appreciate
mate.
that, man.
Mm.
Okay.
What's on your mind?
I have one particular one that's kind of like, I feel like he is more.
Wait, by the way, are you going to be asking the same questions to each of us, or is it all going to be different questions?
I'm not sure yet.
Oh,
Why?
okay.
See how it goes.
Are you trying to prepare your answers?
It's
It's like when you're at school.
He's the type
the
to prepare his
presentation.
answers.
Oh, okay. I'll keep that in
Oh,
mind.
I already know what you
Write
are.
it down. What's
I already
going?
forgot the questions.
Yeah.
Well, what's going in your head? What's going in your head, Selena?
For some reason, I feel like he could be this one, but then there's other ones that are screaming at me too. But
Scream.
should I just say, or should I continue asking
Oh,
questions?
it's up to you, really. I'll let you know if you're
Let's-
right or wrong.
Okay. Are you a Scorpio?
Is that your final answer?
Ooh.
Well, let's hear why.
Well, yeah, let's
hear
go
why.
through your thoughts. Why you think that way?
Yeah. What? Describe it to us. What a Scorpio is, and like how you get that from Tommy.
I kind of get that. I got that from the fact that he was saying how he is quite emotional, but he keeps it in. So one of the elements is water, and water signs are very emotional. So, but then
Okay.
Scorpio is the one that really kind of holds it in and is more composed about it. They're very intense, Scorpios. They kind of have all these ideas and schemes in their heads, but you don't know about it. And
Okay.
I'm not sure if that's what you're like.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And what was the other one that was screaming at you?
It's not screaming at me, but this was the one that I was thinking maybe before Tommy had told me anything,
Okay.
because
Yeah, go on.
because of his kind of work ethic.
Ah.
So I thought maybe Capricorn. But then he talks about how with his friends he likes to talk about the big picture and big things and like very kind of idealistic, and that's like very Aquarius. So like has been really confused me.
It's just a blend of everything.
right.
But I don't know.
It's just the
Let's
perfect
just, I'm
name.
not an expert, so let's just go ahead.
Yeah.
Just tell me what you are.
Well, I'm
So-
not a Scorpio.
Okay.
I'm not a Capricorn. I'm a Taurus.
Oh.
Wait, what's a Taurus?
So I think from
That's
based on what I
interesting.
know, what a Taurus is someone who is stubborn, someone who works hard, someone who's grounded, and but when they're like triggered or angry, they go like really hard at like whatever's like threatening them.
Yeah.
I think those are kind of like and they also like they like to indulge in like the arts or like things that please the eye or like food or like
Food.
music, that kind of thing. That's very Taurian.
Do you see it?
Yeah,
So I don't know if it influenced me as a kid,
Yeah.
but I'm also like the Chinese year of the ox, right?
Yeah.
And the characteristics are quite similar. And so when your aunties and uncles like always like tell you, oh, like you're the ox, and then you grow up reading about like your Taurian astrology, I don't know if it's like just subconsciously I become more of that character, but it's like I match a lot of traits from both signs.
You're special, Tommy.
Thank
I
you.
just
appreciate
a
you.
perfect human being.
Mm.
No, I'm joking. No. Yeah, I can see that. Wait, why do you? How do you feel about that? Like,
I don't really like Tauruses.
oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah.
I think
Which
let's
is why-
separate the two.
Which is why I didn't pick that, because I do like Tommy. But I guess
Not anymore.
Oh wow.
but I guess like I could never like see myself in a relationship with Tommy. Like I feel like we're just very different personality wise.
Yeah.
And for me, I always thought Tauruses were like quite boring because they are very grounded and very like Tauruses are the star signs that I feel that like to stay at home the most.
Have you ever noticed how boring Tommy is? Like, oh man, he's
I don't know about you, but you've summed them up real perfect right there.
Nice.
Yeah.
nah, Tommy. You always got interesting.
Yeah.
And they're
things
very
going
stubborn. Like it's like if you like one thing, like you know what you like, and you're not gonna let anyone persuade you to try
Yeah,
something
right.
different.
He
I
likes
think
food.
I used to be very stubborn.
Yeah.
And I used to be very boring.
on. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And I used to.
Yeah.
No.
No, legit.
Wait. Did you know that? I don't know if your friends told me that there's a second star sign that you have as well. Did you guys know about that?
No.
It's like the
So
one's,
you have
one's the sun rising.
yeah, there's some
one's,
shit
one's
like
the
that.
moon.
Oh.
Yeah,
There's
so-
actually 12.
Wait, what? Wait,
Yeah.
12. You have 12 star signs?
Okay, let me show you.
Okay.
Man, this is
It's
just
so
gonna be
confusing because I'm like,
Right, guys, download the app CoStar.
No, I'm cool. I'm good.
Like
And
right
then-
now.
do they have a website?
Put in your birth time. No.
No, I'm
Okay.
good.
So it has
Nah.
Right, oh.
What do you think of Geminis?
2 seconds.
Whoa.
So there's the sun,
Well, like two things.
the moon, the rising, the Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune,
Anus.
Pluto. And you're a different star sign.
Which can-
It could be the same, but depending on your birth time, you could be different in each
That'd be
house.
What is each house?
So
mean?
each house is sun is the predominant one that you know. So your
Ah.
Taurus.
Okay.
And then moon rules your emotion, moods, and feelings. And then like rising is the mask that you put on to the world, like to the outside world,
Oh. So he could be a rising.
in something else.
Rising
So-
Scorpio. Who
Do
knew?
you
rising
know your
Scorpio.
birth time? I can put it in on my phone.
I think it's like 8 a.m.
You have to be accurate though, because there's because
Shit.
one of them changes every 2 hours. Hold on, put on your birthday, put in your birth time, and your
Okay, Jeremy.
place of birth.
While Tommy's doing that, Jeremy.
Okay.
Jeremy. Oh, should I talk about Geminis or should I do that later?
Actually, yeah, give us a little
Yeah,
talk
give
about
it-
Geminis.
Yeah. What's the Gemini's? Yeah.
What's up with Geminis, and what is a Gemini?
What do you mean? What is a Gemini?
I don't know what a Gemini is.
As in, what are their characteristics?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Geminis, people say are two-faced, but I don't think they're two-faced. It's more, they. Oh, I don't know. I don't really want to tap into that because can't really comment for sure. What I know about Geminis, and by the way, how I talk about these star signs is not from like what I read. I do read a little bit about my own and people that are close to me, but it's just generally based off who I know in that star sign, which I find a little bit more accurate. And then when you know more people in a certain star sign, you can see the similar traits.
Yeah.
So with Geminis, they love to talk.
Okay.
They're talkers.
Is talking talking a lot of shit, or just like always
Like sharing ideas.
Sharing ideas.
They're not talking shit so much, but like they love to have an opinion on everything, and they're the type of person that would be like more prone. I don't want to offend anyone, but like would like interrupt your conversation to have their say in something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, interesting.
They love talking about like that big idea kind of thing where it's like, you know, just I don't know. What else do I feel about Geminis? I'm trying to think of my friend. Gemini. I don't know. Why? Is your girlfriend a Gemini?
I'm asking that because I'm born on the Taurus Gemini cusp.
Oh.
So I'm born on the last day of a Taurus. And then if I was born the day after, then I would have been a Gemini.
Oh, yeah. I believe in the cusp. So that went into the whole talking about the bigger picture thing.
Yeah, maybe.
Then.
So when you're on the cusp, do you share qualities of both?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. But so you're predominantly Taurus, but you will have Gemini qualities.
I think that's what
I don't know about predominantly because Paddy's born on the cusp of Leo and Cancer, and a lot of the times I see more Cancer than Leo.
Okay.
Yeah, but I don't know. Which one, if you read the two descriptions, I'm sure you've read Gemini's, which one do you feel applies to you more?
Probably Taurus.
Taurus. Moon in Libra. Rising in Gemini. So that's the mask you present to the world. Mercury.
I value your
I
opinion.
kind of see. It makes sense.
I feel like if anything, what I put out to the world is more Taurian.
Wait, let me read
I mean,
your
you're like-
description.
Oh no, but the way you present it could be more Gemini.
Oh, maybe. You know when she was saying like, how like Geminis like to talk and like they like their word in and stuff?
Yeah.
I feel like I do like my word. I like being heard.
Yeah. I feel like it's like you're a Taurus, but you're going through like a Gemini
Phase.
filter or something like that. Yeah.
I think this describes you well. Your ascendant is in Gemini, meaning you come across as quick-witted, chatty, electric and fun, though somewhat inconsistent. In conversation, you seem probing and curious. I think you definitely seem very probing and curious.
Yeah, I had to.
You're very curious.
I get that.
You're like
Alright,
a bit of a prod.
Before we get Selena to guess Jeremy and my star sign, we're just gonna take a quick break.
Sounds good.
Cool, yeah.
And we're back with star signs. We finished off with Tommy. Turns out he is a Taurus on the cusp of Pisces.
Gemini.
Gemini. Fuck, I get the okay. Gemini.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you feel? Like, what do you think?
He's born with it. I don't know.
I don't know. I was born with it. I think you should ask Selena how she feels.
How do you feel about Selena?
I don't feel much, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
I
reckon her analysis. I think she was on the right path. Maybe just chose the wrong signs within the correct elements.
Oh, okay.
Actually, not even because
Nah, Scorpio's in water.
and Taurus is in Earth. So
What's
that's
Gemini?
fine.
I never guessed
What else is
Taurus.
Gemini in?
Like I
Maybe you didn't guess it because like you don't usually. Well, yeah, that's what you said. You don't usually like vibe well with Tauruses.
Yeah.
And so that's why you wouldn't have guessed that.
yeah.
Because you vibe Tommy.
But I vibe well with Geminis though.
Yeah. Fair.
Oh, okay.
Your friend's a Gemini.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, okay. So it's the Gemini qualities that are
Oh, maybe.
Oh,
Maybe.
okay.
Who
Oh.
knows?
It's because
But, like-
he puts out a Gemini.
Yeah, he puts
front.
up the facade.
Yeah.
But there's so many layers to a person, so you
Yes.
can't
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
judge them off like what star sign they are. So
Yeah.
it could be Tommy's upbringing or like how he self-reflects and like
Yeah.
you know.
For
I
sure.
Don't know.
Yeah.
Oh,
Interesting.
okay.
All right.
Oh,
Jeremy.
Okay.
All right,
Interesting.
Jeremy.
All
You're gonna get
right. Ask
exposed.
away.
Exposed.
Okay, why don't I give immediate like perceptions kind of thing?
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Initials. Yeah. Initials.
You're bracing
Yeah.
yourself, Jeremy.
Yeah. All right. Let's hear it.
Initials.
Yeah.
Jeremy seems to me quite quite a shit talker.
100%. Yes.
Yeah.
You're not,
No
you're not
doubt, no
wrong.
doubt, no
You're
doubt.
not wrong. Yes.
He seems like, and I can relate to, you have quite a big ego, maybe?
Don't reveal it. Don't.
Okay. Go on.
Do you guys see that? Or is it like,
Well, I have my own perception of him.
oh, I would love to hear like your perception, like, you know, both of you.
Okay.
I think Tommy's cool.
How about I talk about Jeremy? So
Yeah.
what I think about Jeremy, right? I agree that he likes to have fun through conversation, and but in contrast, I think he doesn't have a big ego, but he has a lot of confidence. I think
Right.
ego is the one that you want, like you don't want. And I think Jeremy has or shows a lot of respect in the right way to the right people. He knows when to be respectful around others, and also to himself. I think he gives himself a lot of credit and value where it's due, which is why I don't think he has an ego.
Yeah.
If I'm always big on, I'm always accountable
your
for my actions. So if I'm wrong, I wholeheartedly admit it. Like it's
Yeah.
like I'm not gonna argue with you and try and convince you that I'm always right and stuff like
Okay.
that. So
That's good.
for me, that's where I get my confidence from, knowing that I'm not all of that. You know, I don't know everything. I don't know anything. I'm always open to
Yeah.
listening. And I feel like once you can kind of accept that, it's just easier to be confident in yourself, because now you're just learning from there. Like you're just starting from there, and you just grow and grow and grow. So you got nothing to hide, nothing to lose. So, oh yeah, I'll tell you, Tommy. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think with your creative work, I think your emotions play a big part in like how you create ideas. But when you're working on, let's say, like, I think when you're managing and putting stuff together, like, you focus more on the facts and logistics. Like, you're very pragmatic in that sense. But like in your creative work, I've seen where your ideas come from, like through your photos on Instagram and stuff. And you've told me like, oh, this is like, I want to convey this like feeling, which is like emotion. So that's what your creative work is about. It's about the feelings that you want to convey. Whereas for some other people, it could be like entirely, oh, I want to have this look, which is something that's a bit more like pragmatic. But that's what
But
I think.
that's like, you're saying he is pragmatic, but then he's
But
not.
he's pragmatic through non-creative work.
Okay.
So he's like, I think when it comes down to it, he's, let's say if he's at the gym, right? He's not going to say, oh, I'm going to go to the gym, or I'm not going to go because I don't feel like it.
Yeah.
He's going to say, oh, I need to commit to like this thing that I've set in the past just because that's like the correct thing to do.
Yeah.
Whereas like with creative work, it's a bit more, I want to convey this feeling to
Yeah.
like to the audience.
Would you say that's an accurate perception of you?
Yeah, yeah, for the most part, yeah, I would say that seems like me. It feels like me. Yeah, a lot of what I do is based on feel. I like to feel, and this is gonna sound weird, but touch for things. Like I need to It's very hands-on and just I need to. Yeah, I'm always about the feeling.
Is
of
that why
certain
you're always
things.
touching me?
Well, I can't help but touch attractive people.
Duh.
Anyway, back to
Yeah, nah,
Yikes.
but
Back to-
that's for the most part. Yeah, I feel like that is a lot me. And even when it's the non-creative work, I still, I guess, the only reason why I would be more logistical about it is that I feel like that was something that I've kind of just I guess, got myself to do.
Yeah.
A lot of it is still emotion, based off emotion, I feel like. And as I grow older, as you know, I'm only getting older and I'm learning more about myself. I guess I'm putting things more into perspective, and I guess being more logistical about things, because like I feel like as an adult, that's what you should be doing.
Yeah, right.
But
you wouldn't say that comes like very naturally to you. You're not naturally a very structured person. It's not what you like.
I'm very chaotic. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Like for me, it's a lot about freestyling and off the top of my head,
Yeah.
based on how I feel that moment.
Mm-hmm.
And
Very Aquarian of you.
okay.
Okay. All right.
Alright,
So
alright.
we got some initial
Toby,
my perception. of
yeah,
you?
your perception, yeah.
For me, you're just very. I don't know. I guess like I'm not gonna say run and gun, but like you're very like let's just do it. Like as soon as an idea is said, and it's very doable, or like there is a way to do it, then you're just like let's just do it. But at the same time, it's not very run and gun, because you do think about it first, and then like you don't you give a very initial thought to it, and then if it's doable, you'll do it, and then when in the middle of doing it, you'll think like, how are we gonna go further with this?
Yeah.
And that's it.
Right.
You're
Okay.
not-
Yeah.
you-
So that's just
You're
everything.
not a
Like
planner.
Yeah. No. yeah.
that's
Not.
it, yeah.
Yeah. Don't plan much. Yeah.
Let me think. What about in a relationship? Are you very like committed, or are you do you shy away from commitment and you rather prefer to be quite free?
Yeah, I have commitment issues.
Mm-hmm.
So I've never held a relationship longer than 3 months, which
Yeah.
is something that I should work on. Seriously.
On the next podcast.
Yeah. No,
Oh,
definitely,
no.
definitely an issue that I'm very well aware of.
Yeah. Is it because you want to be, you like that feeling of like feeling free, and when you are in a relationship, you feel kind of constricted, you feel like they're imposing on your like free time, and you don't get that, I don't know.
Yeah, I guess so. It was, I just don't. Yeah, I feel like what's consistent is, either we're not compatible, or I just get bored sometimes, or I like my own space. I like my own time, and it's hard for me sometimes to, I guess, I can't be someone that has to see me every day. We have to be together constantly every single day, see each other and stuff like that. That's
Yeah.
impossible. I can't do that.
Yeah.
I just need my free time and my space to just do my own thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. This is my thoughts. Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
I've got two in mind, but I feel like this commitment thing and the fact that you want your free time accompanied with the shit talk. You're a Sagittarius?
No.
Damn it.
what would your second guess be?
Aquarius.
I'm a Cancer.
What you described is so different to Cancer.
Oh.
What's Cancer?
Cancers are super duper emotional, and when they're in a relationship, they're very like not the most clingy out of the astrology sign, but very clingy. Needs a lot of assurance from their partners.
Yeah. Oh wait.
Very like insecure.
Wait, sorry, 1 second. I'll just.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe I need to explain myself a little bit more.
Okay.
I guess on the relationship part, I can be, because okay, wait, how do I
It's all getting revealed now.
no, how do I'm trying to
Just off the dome, mate.
I'm trying to word this in a way that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess if I'm really into someone, then I'll be very invested into making sure they're okay and how they're feeling and stuff like that.
Cancer.
That's very important to me.
Yeah.
So I guess the integrity, the communication and everything is super important to me. So I need to make sure that that's okay. Because that's what I believe is what's a good relationship. But what fails for me ultimately is either it's just really not, personalities don't match, or I'm just bored, or I'm just not interested.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
You're describing everything like Sagittarius pretty much.
Oh, okay.
And like Cancers are like, very sensitive, and I don't feel like, I don't know you very well, but
Yeah.
Oh, he's a sensitive guy.
Really?
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
Like I don't feel like you would need a lot of reassurance to know that, you're loved, or like all that. I don't know, but you
Okay.
tell me.
Yeah, no, in term like, well, I think for everyone, it's nice to know that you're loved or something like along. It's nice to have a bit of love in, right? But for me personally, I'm okay with, I guess, not having that all the time, and I can just be myself and do my own thing. Like, I don't need someone constantly patting me on the back and tell me you're doing a great job, all the time. I don't. Yeah, I just. Yeah. I don't know. I really don't.
I think it's just not like his sign then.
Yeah.
What, maybe?
Like I do.
What's your birth time? Put it in this app.
I'm 7th of July.
Hold on.
Time.
Time would be
7/7.
definitely in
Is
the
it 1996?
1994.
He's old.
And
Jeremy's old.
yeah, I'm old as fuck.
Melbourne,
Melbourne, yep.
and then birth time.
Birth time, I think it was at 7 a.m.
7/7.
7, 8 a.m. One of those. It's definitely in the morning.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. Wow,
That's
I'm pretty
interesting.
surprised. The mask you present to the world is also Gemini.
Yeah, I can see that. I talk a lot of shit.
Oh wait, no.
Oh no.
Okay, maybe not.
The mask you present is Cancer. It says your ascendant is in Cancer, meaning you come across as gentle, intuitive, and warm, though some may regard this as overly emotional or sensitive to criticism.
Oh.
Cheeky.
But yeah.
But it doesn't seem like you, hey? Oh, it does. But your moon, which is your emotions and moods and feelings, you're easily bored and need to feel like you are free to be creative and create meaning.
Alright, stop it there. Okay, I'm like, yeah, that's definitely me.
Like you're in a constant identity crisis. It's in your 12th house, meaning you find security and safety through privacy, secrets, and introspection.
Oh.
Interesting.
You have a lot of secrets, Jeremy.
No. No. I'd say I'm
deeply
pretty.
committed to relationships. So it's.
Yeah.
Well, when was your last relationship?
It was last. I've never been in a long-term relationship, so last year in April,
Did you break up with?
I broke it off after it was like 3 months. Yeah. And
Has your character from that time changed with who you are today?
it made me feel like a cunt. It made me reevaluate it opened my eyes to myself in terms of whether I am competent enough to be in a relationship, to I don't know, have I grown up? It made me feel like am I still a kid? Have I sorted myself out yet? The one was boredom, right? And then the other one, I was in a time. I'm just trying. Wait, I can hear that. Sorry. One was I was bored, or I just didn't feel like there was any fire, I guess. And then the other thing was I wasn't in a position in life that I felt like I was responsible enough to take, or not take care of them, like shelter them, stuff like that, but to be with someone and to be a person that was good enough to be in a relationship with this person. I didn't feel like I had that level of confidence in myself and stability in my life to maintain this relationship. So that was another big factor in the reason why I broke it off. I just didn't feel confident in my abilities. And then after that, I guess that was a part of the reason of where I am now. But after that, I guess I changed in the way that I'm like, I need to get my shit together. And that was a period for me where I was just a lazy fuck, I just didn't know what to do. I was transitioning. I'm like, okay, I need to get my. I was just getting my dick chopped off and shit like that, right? Nah, I was trying to move into a position where I'm an adult and I have responsibilities. Yeah, I need to get going and make a career out of myself,
You sold that way differently to, I get bored easily in relationships.
Yeah. So, so it was not the easiest thing for me to do. It wasn't like, oh, I'm bored, I'm going to fuck off now.
Yeah,
it was
what it thought it was.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. No, I don't ditch people. Like I want to be
a better person.
No, I just want to be. I'm very open about how I feel about things, and I want to be as honest as I want to be honest with how I feel, and I hate leading people on to certain things and stuff like that, knowing that it will be a bigger consequence later down the track. So
what's a cancer trait?
What?
Overthinking.
Yeah. So that no. Yeah. So that's because I think a lot. Like in my own time, there's times where I can't sleep at night and I just think about things.
Do you self-reflect a lot?
100% I do.
Paddy does that a lot.
Yeah. I question. I'm always constantly questioning things that I do.
Yeah.
Whether this might be the right thing for me. Whether even when it comes down to people that I meet or friends that I'm talking to, I always think about, I'm like, oh, what, how is this relationship with this person affecting me? I think about everything and every consequence.
That's actually really interesting because on the way here, when I was driving, my brother called me and he's a Cancer.
Yeah.
And he goes, oh, I came across this interaction at work today.
Yeah.
This girl said some things that were disrespectful. And then he's just been thinking about it all night, how he should deal with it and how he should confront her and how that would better impact the relationship later on, blah, 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 blah. And then he asked for my opinion. I was like, Evan, just let it go. Like...
Yeah, that used to really bother me.
Yeah.
And I totally get that. But I've learned to just let go and just say, fuck it. One thing that I've done really well for myself is just to say, you know what, it's not the end of the world. There's there's bigger and better things down the road. So I just say, fuck it, let's go, let's do it. There's not going to, like, what's the worst thing that can happen? Yeah. So
what I've heard is that cancers really care about how other people view them and what other people think about them. Yeah. So it kind of seems like you're trying to move away from that at the moment.
Yeah, I do. Because I feel like it's toxic in some ways, having constantly trying to validate yourself through other people's opinions of you. I felt like it was just unnecessary thinking that hindered your progress and kind of led you to nowhere. Like, to be honest, I still think some of those things, but I've learned to just put it aside and just focus on the bigger picture.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's kind of where I am now. So I like, I feel like I'm suppressed in some ways when it comes to Cancer qualities, and just, I guess through meeting new people and being open and knowing how awesome it is to meet like these kind of people, it's kind of brushed off on me, and those qualities kind of influenced me to be who I am now.
Yeah.
So
That's really interesting because when I was in Bali, there was a guy and he was a Cancer.
Yeah.
And I was guessing every single star sign. And I guessed Aquarius first. And so was this other girl. She was really into star signs. And on a separate occasion, without him there, we guessed every single one. And we couldn't guess what he was. And he was Cancer. And then when I actually talked to him about how he really was and how he felt and interacted with people, he pretty much said exact same things as what you're saying now.
Okay.
Damn.
It might be a brother from another mother. Yeah. So
Crazy.
yeah, interesting.
Alrighty.
All right, Toby.
Just before we do, gonna go on another break.
Oh
Sounds
yeah.
good.
Oh yeah. Oh okay.
All
All right.
See you in a bit.
Alright guys, we're back for part 3 of this star sign / horoscope / astrology podcast with Selina Yang with us.
Slashes.
Toby,
Selina.
it's
Yeah,
Selena's
yeah.
turn to guess your star sign.
Yeah.
I think, Jeremy, why don't you say a few things about
Initial perceptions.
Of
things that
Toby.
you like, things that you think you can improve on.
Okay, so I guess first impressions would be he just doesn't give a fuck about anything, right? That's the vibe that you get. Hear me out. So you seem to be in your own world in some ways, and you do your magic tricks, and I guess you have this character that is very unique to a lot of people. I would say you would stand out. You stand out a lot, which is something that's interesting, and I guess something that drew me towards you. Like, oh, who is this guy?
Mysterious.
Mysterious, and and I guess that's because you're different. I personally, I like people that are different because it's not normal, and I'm very curious. I want to know them and find what's quirky, like those little quirks that you might have.
Yeah.
So when I met you at the start, that was at the photo walk with Tommy's photo walk, the night walk, right?
Tommy's.
Yeah. You seem to be just real chill and just doing your own thing, and it didn't seem like you cared too much about things.
Yeah.
That from what I saw.
Yeah.
But as I got to know you more, you deeply care about certain things that mean a lot to you.
Yeah.
I know that for sure. You worry about people when you feel like things need to be worried about. Like if whether it be health, I guess their general well-being. That's something of concern to you.
Yeah.
How they're thinking, or what they might be doing. You never hesitate to ask about or allude to it. So that's, I guess, a positive quality. I'm trying to think. Yes, you're creative. You can talk. You're how do I? Yeah, this is not easy to say, because I'm trying to think. I want to say the right things, because I want to. I don't want to paint you as someone that I don't like at all, but I do like you. I know. I'm going all over
Isn't
the
that
place.
hard?
It's hard. It's hard. No, it's hard
Are you
because
struggling?
no, it's because
It's because you have you know the feeling, but you don't know the words.
yeah, I know the feel. It's because Toby is an interesting character to me. A lot about him is not what I'm used to when I see my own friends. So when I can describe like my high school friends, right off the bat, I can give you their qualities.
Yeah.
But with Toby, it's kind of like an enigma. I feel like I just know he's a good guy at heart and he means well. But so I guess that's most of the positive attributes that he has. But I would say negative qualities. I guess sometimes you stress about things too much if it's uncomfortable for you, or you're in a situation where it may be very undesirable. So that can bother you a lot. And I can see that physically as well. I can see it in your facial expressions. So, and sometimes you just maybe not sure how to deal with it straight away, but eventually you'll probably get there in the end.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's something that can always be worked on, I guess.
Oh yeah.
There's not really too much. I guess you're not. No, I don't really. Other negative qualities.
Do you want to chip in, Tommy?
Yeah. Did you have anything to say?
Well, how about I start with should I start with negative or positive?
Positive.
Positive.
Positive. All right.
Just grind me to a dust, man. Do it.
Toby, I think you probably are one of the, like, you're like a really good guy. You're like one of the nicest, like one of the most genuine guys. You're very genuine at heart.
This is a very big circle jack right now. Very weird one.
And I kind of, I heard what Jeremy was saying about you on the positive side.
Yeah.
He was saying how you were, I guess, very like carefree and confident. I don't think that's truly the case. I think you deeply care a lot about how people perceive you, and you have a certain image that you want to be perceived. You really like being unique, though. That's one thing that you hold true to yourself, is like you love to have a sense of individuality.
Tommy sees people. Deeply sees
And
people.
I think that shows in like the way you conduct yourself, the way you dress, and also I guess the way you talk. I think even through like the words you use and like how you I guess use language, you're a little bit rushed as a person. You don't fully like to plan things out, and when you do plan things out, that's when you're procrastinating.
Oh yeah.
So you do things full force, and then you go into accept the consequences.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, I think there is a lack of true self-confidence in your character, and you play that off by being overconfident in front of other people.
Yeah.
Okay. I see that. I do.
But
Yikes.
Yeah, I do.
But no, like you only do that because you have a certain image that you want to be seen by other people, and you like to be at least feel that you're in control of like how the people want to see you. And that's like by no means like a bad thing at all. And yeah, I just know that you just want to be like liked for your individuality.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So I guess I'll give my feedback on that. Yeah, it's actually so weird hearing about me.
Yeah,
it's actually it's really weird.
It's weird, yeah. Fuck.
But yeah, you're definitely right, both of you, in like the terms of like I do like being sort of like different, I guess. I like the uniqueness, so that's why I'm always picking up different hobbies and like learning new stuff, mainly because I just like it's not like a show off kind of thing. It's more of like a personal development kind of thing where I like to be involved in different skill sets and hobbies, so different communities and stuff like that. what you both said about like the whole like planning to procrastinating to stressing is like, I guess it's some level. So like, yeah, I definitely rush into things, and then the times that I do plan, I do procrastinate. But I think the whole when I do like, because I plan so rarely, it's that when I do plan and it doesn't go right, I do stress, because like I put effort into planning and then it doesn't go right. And it's like, well, that was a wasted effort. And I have to like go with the flow with it. But yeah, no, like I do think it's like something that is, it's not necessarily like a bad thing, but like it is something to work on, because like obviously like good work can come out of stressful times. But like there's always the case of like, what if I actually like just calmly went through it. But yeah, I don't mind. But yeah, you guys are too nice, and I appreciate you guys.
Aw.
Nice and honest.
Yeah.
Appreciate you too, Toby.
Sure, yeah.
Selina, anyway, hello Selina. Hey.
What do you think,
What did you
Selena?
gather from
Just so you guys know, I'm not like big on astrology. So like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Nothing really. I think what Jeremy said about Toby being quite mysterious is definitely true. Like when I first met you,
Oh yeah. Oh
you're
yeah.
very
We went on a little road trip to the snow.
yeah.
Thanks to Tommy.
Thanks, Tommy.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're very quiet, but I guess what I gathered was that you so you like magic and you like being different, and that's kind of what you use as kind of a mask or a way to fit in. Like I know you do magic as a way to like be unique and different because no one else does it, but I think it's a way that helps boost your self-confidence, because you could use that as a way to segue into like a conversation. And that's kind of what I gathered. Maybe what Tommy said, a little bit of lack of self-confidence perhaps.
Yeah.
You seem, I don't feel like you're very carefree. I feel like you are very sensitive and have very deep emotions.
To highlight on that, I actually like very I guess like I don't care outwardly. Very inwardly, it's like, because like what you said, like I do think about myself, like I do think about what people think about myself. So it's like I don't care like I don't care what happens, but like later on when I'm by myself, it's like, so how did that go, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just like for my own personal
Self-reflection.
self-reflection. Yeah, that's it. It's not like an outwardly thing where like I like, hey, don't do that. It's just like I let it happen. But yeah,
That's the very like the go with the flow type.
yeah.
I honestly have no idea, but I'm just gonna chuck one out there.
You have 1 in 12.
Wait,
1 in 12.
are there any other questions that you might want to ask
yeah,
to
feel
kind
free
of
to
ask me anything.
suss
I'll tell you what you want.
suss it out just a little bit?
Have you ever been in a relationship?
That sounds weird. Yeah, I have. Yeah. Thanks.
How describe that relationship, I guess, and how you were.
I am pretty caring. Yeah, I guess I'm not clingy, but I do like to know like what's going on, because I hate being left in the dark. I think that's what really bothered with me, like my past relationships, is that like I was left in the dark. So I do have like not, I'm not gonna say trust issues, but like I do have insecurities and stuff. So but on the positive side, it's like I do care a lot, and I do show a lot of affection in terms of like words and physical touch.
Yeah. I'm going to just say, because that has confirmed a little bit of like that
cool.
one star sign I was thinking
Cool.
of, but I don't actually, I have female friends that are the star sign, but apparently like the male version is a little bit different. But
Ah.
are you Pisces?
Yeah.
Whoa!
Really? Are you?
Are you or no?
Right.
Not. Oh, I don't like to think of myself as one. No.
But you're born with
But you're
Pisces.
born. No. Okay.
What are you? Wait,
I-
I'm confused.
Wait,
what was that?
so- wait,
year?
yeah, so what was that?
So
Yeah.
I'm technically Aquarius,
Yeah.
but I'm born like because I've seen some calendars say my date is Pisces, but most calendars that I see is
Oh, so you're
Aquarius.
also on the cusp.
yeah.
You're on
Oh,
the
you're the-
cusp.
Oh, hey, that's pretty good.
Two cusp babies.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. But like everything I've seen is like always Aquarius, and because I don't care, I don't read into it. So it's
Yeah.
like all I've seen is like, oh, why is this date say Pisces now?
Yeah.
Right, that's it.
I think maybe your emotional side is in Pisces. The part where you could be more Aquarius could be how Aquariuses are very carefree. They don't like to plan. They're very much like idealists. They're just like, you know what, I'm just going to go do this. I'm going to travel the world. Or like, you know, I have an Aquarius friend who he studied at Melbourne Uni. He did arts, but he didn't attend any of his arts lectures. And he's like, I'm interested in IT, so I'm just going to go watch some of those lectures. I just want to educate myself in that area, and then ended up quitting uni. And oh my God, he started a podcast company that actually broadcasts different podcasts. It's like a platform.
Oh, cool.
Oh.
well,
But he is mega carefree. He just
Well.
go with the flow.
Yeah,
We're
very,
definitely gonna-
very
we're
carefree.
definitely gonna
Go with the
research
flow.
into that.
Oh.
He like one day he called me and he was like, "Hey Selina, like I'm around your house. Let's go for a drive." He
Oh,
lives
shit.
in Ballarat. I was like, "Okay." I get in his car, we're driving, and then he's like, "Oh shit, ran out of petrol. I don't have my wallet. Do you do you have some money?" And I was like, "What if I wasn't around here?" And he's like, "I don't know. I'll figure it out." He's like that type of person.
That's something you say a lot.
That's
I don't know. I'll
crazy.
figure it
I'll
out.
figure it out.
That's crazy.
I'll figure it out.
I guess, when you say that, or from like your friend, he has like these qualities from an Aquarius. I do kind of see some of those in Toby. Like Toby, I think in some things you're more carefree, or like you like to show that. But then I also feel like you maybe have like more emotional Pisces traits.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
Because
very
I think
sensitive.
you are very go with the flow, and you do like to like educate yourself a lot in the stuff that you think is relevant to you in the time.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I think that's why I might have confirmed for Selena.
Interesting.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So
Interesting.
Leo, cusp of Pisces and Aquarius,
Yeah.
and Cancer, and then cusp of Taurus and Gemini.
Gemini. You said that so weird.
I
You
know,
like
I was
said
tr- I
yours
was
and then said Tommy's.
Yeah, and then I was like, oh shit. Yeah, okay, Gemini. Okay. Oh, interesting.
Interesting.
Interesting indeed.
Yeah. I
But
don't
we're
know.
all friends here, right?
No, of course.
Yeah.
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 No matter
Yeah.
the differences.
Yeah. For someone
Mm.
that like doesn't really follow too closely at all to like astronomy, it's like it's just interesting to see like how you guys like resonate with your own star signs.
Yeah.
And how like for example you tell me like because you've known at an early age that you very like I guess you sort of feel influenced to live
For
that
sure.
kind of
Yeah,
life.
yeah.
Whereas Selena, you only started following it like recently, so it's like
yeah. So I feel like it didn't influence how I like picked my friends or how I behave. It's more like looking back, it confirms like, oh shit, like maybe there is some truth in astrology because I've been living my life without knowing any of these star signs or traits, but then I can see it and it's been confirmed.
yeah. So yeah, that's why it's pretty interesting to me. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really like for my brother, I didn't know until recently, but over dinner table conversation with a few cousins, I didn't know he was really interested in astrology. And this is coming from a guy who throughout my whole life is, studious, very intelligent. In terms of emotion and stuff, is a lot more black and white.
Yeah.
So it's either this or it's that. Very logical thinking. So being someone that is really interested in astrology was the last thing that I would have thought about my brother, right?
Yeah.
But when he was just talking about all these character charts and all that stuff, I was like, what the fuck? And I got interested. I was interested in like this conversation.
Is he like a Virgo or Capricorn?
December, so that is Capricorn.
Oh.
Yeah. So for me, I thought like, I thought you were this kind of person. Like I didn't know you would be so interested in astrology so much.
Yeah.
And he told me it was for him to. He needs to categorize things. He needs to understand that certain people have certain qualities for him to. It's like I don't want to paint him as a robot or anything, but
That's a Capricorn.
yeah. I know.
What robot?
All these memes about Capricorns being robots.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
My sister's Capricorn, and she also believes in like astrology.
Oh, yeah. But for him, it was like because throughout his life, he couldn't understand the way I thought about things and how I do a lot of things based on how I feel, right? So it turned out that he utilized astrology as a way to kind of understand the kind of person that I was and other people that were surrounding him.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So yeah, like if he goes to a party and he had this mate who was just really loud, sometimes obnoxious, blah 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 blah, he was like, oh, that's
You can
probably
see
like
past that,
yeah. He's like, oh, probably Leo or something like that,
Yeah.
right? I don't know. No, I'm not nothing against He's a very good guy. The guy that's very loud, but he's very very nice guy. But yeah, for me, I just never felt like it was something that. When someone talks about it, I'm very curious, but I kind of brushed it off anytime, for the most part.
Yeah.
Because I felt like, people are just people, everyone's different. I like that. And I like to connect with people that are very different to me as well. So, yeah, interesting talk. I'm glad we could talk about
Yeah,
this.
that was good.
That was a really good episode.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
I like
thought
that.
it was.
Yeah.
Everyone else like, that's so boring.
Nah.
It's cool.
Astrology
Nah, it's
shit.
I think for me as well, like, because from my perspective, since I don't get, like, it's actually kind of interesting just knowing about it. But yeah, that's a really sick episode.
Even if you feel like it, if like, there's no really hard science or whatever to this, like I guess it's a nice thing to, know about, to be open about, just to have another perspective on life or on people.
Yeah.
I feel like it's always good to keep these things, I guess,
With a grain of salt.
yeah, you take a grain of salt, but it's just something out there, I don't think it's something that you should necessarily just always just never believe in and stuff like that. It's something good to just have in the back of your mind sometimes. You're like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
If anything, it's just good for a conversation.
You're good for a conversation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, it's actually really helped with my relationship with my mum.
Yeah.
Because she, like, before I found out her star sign, she's always been like so bossy, needs to get her way, and just like needs to have the last say, always has to be right kind of person.
So your mum's
And
a
then
Leo as well?
No, so she's an Aries, so it's like more aggressive than Leo, but
okay.
they're in the same element, so fire.
Oh,
And I
okay.
finally like understood, like I understand why she's like that now, and I understand why her and I clash, because
Yeah.
I am very much like similar to that,
Yeah.
but then she's on like a whole other level.
Oh,
Shit.
But then now, like, when
Aries.
she is talking, like I kind of just like understand that that's just who she is, and I kind of just let her have her way.
Yeah.
When you like sort of know the type of person they are, like say with you now, I would be more mindful maybe of the language I use or like what I say in case it might affect like
Yeah.
how, because I know you will think about it just like
Yeah.
my brother, he'll
Right.
still be thinking about it after the
Yeah.
conversation's ended. So it's good to kind of just be mindful of what people's traits are like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Having said that, just go hard on me if you want. It's all good. I give you the freedom to do it.
That's sick.
Any final thoughts, guys? Anything
Nice.
else?
That's pretty cool.
Thanks for having me.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
really,
Selina.
really appreciate
Thank you
having
very
you,
much.
Selina, as our first guest. Definitely more to come, and yeah, it's really sick to have someone else on the podcast.
I love having guests. That's awesome.
Yeah,
man.
having guests is great.
It's different. It's great. I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Fun talking.
Anything else you want to say? You want to plug in a shout out to anyone, Selena?
No, I'm all good.
Okay, all good. All right, that's it.
Awesome.
Alright.
Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in to
Thank you.
Klickback.
Click back.
Thank you.
If you're watching, thanks for watching. If you're listening, thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow our socials at Klickback Podcast.
Yeah.
Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.
Thank you.
On that note, see you next time.
See ya.
Peace.
Bye.